Hi, Claudio.
Hello,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm good too. We are here
Alright.
with Chloe
Hi,
from
Claudio.
Chase,
Chloe, hi.
Australia.
Nice meeting
Uh,
you.
Nice meeting you as well.
we talked a little bit about the structure of the diploma of nursing. We
Mm-hmm.
know that it's a profession that is in high demand. We had a question about the list, if it is on the list or not. We don't have the list yet, but we guess it will be on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely should be. It should be on the list just because right now South Australia has an interim program, and they are already inviting nurses and registered nurses and enrolled nurses. So if they are inviting now with an interim program, can you imagine when the lists are released? So it will probably be there. It's one of the occupations that has the most demand in Australia lately, and I'm telling everyone like that this is the occupation of the future.
So it's happy. So for those who doesn't know Seven Migration and Claudio, we've been doing a lot of lives together. But Claudio, if you can explain a little bit more about you and Seven.
Sure. I am the director of Seven Migration. I'm also a registered migration agent. Seven Migration is present in Adelaide in the same office as Information Planet, but we also have an office here. Our headquarters is in Perth, and we also have representation in Sydney. We do consultations with clients all over the world. We have clients doing visa applications in Melbourne, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Sydney, everywhere. So it's just like we now with the ways we can communicate, it doesn't really have any physical barriers anymore. So we are
Yeah,
present everywhere.
COVID started, we realized that we can do lots of things online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
true.
So Claudio, if I study nursing, am I eligible to migrate? What are the migration pathways?
Well, it's not as simple as just study, obviously, but obviously it is a pathway to migration, right? It's a pathway for you to follow a migration plan. Um, Australia has a skill list, and we also always have to see what occupations are on those skill lists, medium, long, short term, regional, state nomination lists. And depending on where your occupation is, we can try to create a migration plan according to your necessities, skills, and location. Um, to study uh, nursing is to become a professional that has an occupation on that list. So if you study enrolled nurse, for example, you do a TAFE, you can become an enrolled nurse upon completion of the course. Um, and then we can try to create a migration plan because you already are a skilled professional, right? So the list they create for skilled people, so skilled professionals. So if you study nursing, you will be one of those professionals that Australia is looking for, and South Australia as well. And then we can definitely create a migration pathway for you because the migration options, I would say South Australia studies students are very lucky because the state has a very large occupation list. Normally, not at the moment, but normally they do accept many occupations, and the requirements facilitate for international students. So when you conclude a course in South Australia, you have many exemptions and facilities that will make your life easier when you are an undergraduate and you are trying to apply for the PR. The pathway in South Australia that most applicants and most students usually follow is the stay nomination. So there are two visas that are in which you have to be nominated by the state, which is the 190 and the 491. And we assume that nursing will be there. So when you complete the course, you can apply to state nomination, unless they have different criteria at that given stage when you have completed the course, right? So at this moment, they are with an interim program, and they are asking people to apply only if they have at least 3 months of experience working in their field. So it doesn't take only to study. So you have to study, and after you study, you register yourself as an enrolled nurse, and then you have to secure employment, work for 3 months, and then you can apply. And then it's very likely the state will invite you. But for people who are planning to start studies now, it's something that we don't have to worry about at this moment. Is the most important thing for you at this stage is plan your studies, become a skilled professional with an occupation on the list, and then we talk.
Okay, so we had a question before about this work experience. So basically for enrolled nurse, it's 3 months experience after they finish their qualification, right? At the moment.
It's not. Yeah, it's not about the occupation. It's about what the states wants from everyone who is going to apply for the state nomination, right? So, for example, when you complete the course at TAFE, you can already register yourself as an enrolled nurse with APRA, which is the health practitioner agency here, and then you can start working as a nurse, as an enrolled nurse. You also have to do the skills assessment with AMAC. And APRA and AMAC won't require any experience to be registered as an enrolled nurse or to do a skills assessment with AMAC. They don't require you to have the experience. But the state does. The state needs everyone to be working in their field for at least 3 months before they can invite you for a visa. In the first half of the year, in the first semester, when the COVID was worse everywhere in the country, most states were giving easier pathways for nurses, and South Australia was waiving the work requirement for nurses. So it can change a lot. So that's why I'm saying that you don't have to worry too much about it now, because I don't know, maybe after 1.5 years when the person is finishing the course, maybe the state has different requirements and making easier pathway for nurses, because I don't know, like you might have some other problems that might require most professionals, or they might be requesting more experience. Maybe in 1.5 years they'll say, no, but now I want 12 months experience, and then people will have to do. But the good thing about nurse is that it's usually easier to find jobs, right? Because the demand is really high. So when you finish the course, you register with AMAC, you will find a job in your field.
Okay. In terms of migration, how good should be the level of English of the applicant? Is it any different from, because for as an entry requirement for the course is IELTS 7.0, and for the visa later for the nomination, is it the same?
Well, with 7 on IELTS, with proficient English, right? So 7 on IELTS, so 65 on PTE, B on OET is usually a good score for visa purposes. We have to assess on a case by case to see if anyone is losing points too easily. For example, if a person it's over 40 years old, doesn't have a bachelor's degree, has not completed 2 year studies in Australia, then this person will probably need more points. But we can search these points somewhere else. So maybe we don't need to go for 8 or 9 because 7 or 9 is already a very high score. So instead of going for 8 or 9, we can try to find other pathways to increase the point score of that applicant, so they don't have to, like sometimes it's so hard already to reach the 7 IELTS. And if I say, no, okay, now you have reached 7 IELTS, you are a nurse, but then you need 8 for the visa. They're gonna get crazy. So we can find points somewhere else.
Okay. And how do I know if I meet all the requirements for the visa? So basically, it's gonna be the qualification, the work experience. So is there any other requirements that the applicant might need?
Well, there are 3 main factors that we have to consider when planning for migration. The first one is to have an occupation that is on the list and have a positive skills assessment for that occupation. So it's all done at TAFE. So you study there 1.5 years, you finish the course, you register yourself with APRA, get your skills assessment, and then you're done with the first step. The second step we have to assess is the point score. So we have to check how many points you will have to apply, and if with your points you will be eligible for either the 190 or the 491. The third one is the requirement for state nomination. So this is another thing that we have to consider. If the state is requiring you to have experience, further qualifications, or maybe a combination of both, if they want you to study longer at South Australia, we don't know. At this moment, there's just an interim program. It was something until June 2020. It has changed now, and it's going to change again. But again, this will change every year. So the requirements, we have to check when the person is about to finish the course. So we have to say, okay, now we have a financial year that is ongoing. And when you finish the course, these are the requirements that you will have to meet.
Okay. And how much do I need to save to do my PR process?
I think the main cost will be the student visa and the cost of the course, right? So the person will have to first be able to plan financially for the course and the student visa. When they conclude the student visa, because Enroll Nurse doesn't give you the applicants the right to apply for the graduate visa, they will have to probably either go straight for the state nomination, if the state nomination allows, right? So for example, when you finish the course, you usually have 2 months visa, holiday visa, school holidays, right? Yeah. So and if the state is still requiring you to work full-time for 3 months, sorry, it's going to be hard to meet the requirements in so short time. So you will probably need another visa after that. So maybe another course, maybe a training visa or something like that, or maybe I don't know, maybe your partner go for a course if you have a partner, but then it will increase your costs until you reach the PR. But when you are eligible for the visa, when you apply for state nomination, when you are invited, then we apply. It's hard to imagine the cost because it will depend if the has dependents, their visa application. It depends on many factors. If they will need help with the skills assessment and everything, I always tell my clients to plan between $10,000 to $15,000 to apply for your PR, because there are many costs involved, and we don't know how much we will need help in this process.
Okay. There's a question here. Does South Australia accept vocational courses to apply for graduate visa, or it has to be a bachelor?
Well, it's not about South Australia, right? The graduate visa is a national visa, is valid everywhere in Australia, and the rules are the same regardless of where you study. For nursing, vocational course doesn't allow you to apply for the graduate visa. In South Australia, in Western Australia, or anywhere you are, you won't be able to apply for the graduate visa if you study diploma of nursing or any nursing related vocational courses. In the nursing field, you will need to study bachelor's degree to become a registered nurse, because bachelor will make you become a registered nurse, which is in the list of medium long-term list. So this is the difference, right? Enroll nurse at this stage is in the short-term list. But let's say you are studying nursing and it's going to take 18 months, and then by the time you finish the course, enroll nurses in the medium long-term list, then you will be able to apply for the graduate visa when you complete, at least when you complete 2-year studies. So you never know. I mean, these things change a lot. At this stage, if you study vocational course for nursing, you won't have the right to apply for the graduate visa.
Okay. We heard about A7 offering a promotion called Migration Combo. Could you please explain a little bit more about this package, and also if the student can use this combo for this process with nursing profession?
Okay, the combo is about the graduate visa, right? So for when the person is completing 2-year studies in Australia, and they want to check if they are eligible for the graduate visa or not, we do first of all a free assessment. So they can go to our media pages and fill up a form, and we will have this client's profile, and we will let him know if he is eligible for the graduate visa or not. Like I said, if it's enrolled nurse at he won't be eligible for the graduate visa. But if the person studies any course that is, they might be eligible for the graduate visa. We are offering free inclusion of partners. We don't charge anything to include the family members to the application. We don't charge anything for the provisional skills assessment. So, for example, if they are applying for carpentry course or any other course that TAFE offers and is in the medium long-term list, they will need a provisional skills assessment, and we can offer that for free. We won't charge any professional fees on that. We are also offering a 50% discount for those who have completed higher education and are going for the graduate visa in the post-study stream. So when they study a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, students have the right to apply for the graduate visa, which is a longer graduate visa, is the post-study. And it is cheaper because we are giving 50% discount. And for people who are applying for graduate visa on the graduate work, which is the vocational pathway, vocational course pathway of the graduate visa, and if you are a client of Information Planet, we also give 25% discount on top of everything that we have been exempting in terms of fees. So it is a good deal. It's not available for nursing at TAFE, but for other courses that TAFE offer and are in the medium long-term list, they can use that. The students can use that.
Yeah, TAFE also has a package with University of South Australia for the bachelor, so to become a registered nurse. So in this case, people would need, if there is anyone studying a bachelor, they will be eligible for this promotion.
Yeah, that's a very good pathway. Sometimes by the time you finish the diploma, you're still not eligible to apply for any visa or state nomination or graduate visa. You can use your studies to start working as an enrolled nurse while you make your pathway to becoming a registered nurse through a bachelor's degree with a shorter timing in terms of studies, right? So it's a good pathway because you know that after the graduate visa, after the bachelor's degree, you will have the graduate visa.
Okay, so I'll check here. We have some questions. but
There's a lot of questions for Claudio.
yeah.
It's up a little, I think.
Which course can I combine for 2 years of studies in South Australia? So I think that's because of the points for skilled visa. So the student needs to study 2 years to get some points, extra points. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. So the person does need to study for 2 years diploma level or above to be eligible to get the 10 points, 5 for Australian study requirements, 2 studies in Australia, plus 5 because Adelaide is a regional area. I would suggest to go for an advanced diploma after you finish your diploma, just because we need higher courses than a diploma. We cannot go back to a certificate 4, for example. A certificate 4 will not count towards the Australian study requirement, so we cannot use the certificate 4 to combine with the diploma and make 2 years study. You won't get points because of that. So I would suggest an advanced diploma, especially because you will probably need some time after you finish the diploma level course to prepare yourself for the next visa. So you need to register with APRA. You need to do a skills assessment with a MAC. Maybe you need a new IELTS because yours has expired. You will still need to expression of interest for the state nomination. You need to be invited by the state. So everything takes months. So you won't have time to finish anything in 2 months. That is your school holidays after your course finishes. So an advanced diploma, maybe something related to health or nursing, would be recommended.
Okay. So let me check if there's any other question. That's one we already answered about the graduate visa. 7 also put the link for the migration combo. If anyone wants to get more information, they can access this link. There is another question here, Claudio. Can I study a diploma of nursing in another state and then apply for the state nomination in South Australia?
It will depend on how they build their new requirements. So now the only interim and provisional requirements they have is that you must be working here for 3 months. So you must be working in South Australia for 3 months, regardless of where you have studied. So if you have studied somewhere else and you want to go to South Australia and study work for 3 months in South Australia before apply, now you can. But this is just an interim program that will change very soon, and we'll have to check what are the requirements they're going to publish very soon.
Okay, so is there any other questions, guys? Let me check here. Well, I think we don't have more questions. So thank you, Claudio, for participating, for joining us today. Thank you, Chloe, again, for being here. If you guys have any doubts in regards of the courses, you can send a message to us and we can forward to Chloe if we don't know the answer. The TAFE website is very complete. So if you want to have more information about the course outcomes and everything, you can check on the website. There's a question, how hard is to get the GTI visa?
That's the global talent, probably. The global talent is really hard. So it's for real exceptional people who are very very, very, very good at what they do, and they have an international reputation in their field. So it is not easy. It's just for a few.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. We are finishing these sessions of lives for this year, but we are going to resume these lives from next year, from the second week of January. The next one is gonna be on the 13th of January. We are gonna talk about carpentry courses in South Australia and Western Australia. Then we are gonna have another session for cookery courses. So just stay tuned, and if you have any questions, all the lives we did so far are saved on our IGTV and on our YouTube channel as well, at the 7 Migration social media channels as well. So thank you, everyone. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you, Claude. Thank you, Claude.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for attending the live stream. I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.